Right now, let's get to our guest.
Here's the bottom line.
Here's the bottom line.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Get to the bottom of this.
We've got to get to the bottom of this.
The bottom line on the Marc Cox Show.
That's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of this.
That's the bottom line.
Truth! You can't handle the truth.
All right, Charlie Tuna is my guest today. Welcome back, Charlie.
I'm glad to always be back.
Well, I'm glad you're here, man.
You were
Thank you.
talking about my lady Hillary.
Hillary, I don't know, man.
That's
I don't know
my
who
girl.
she's got dirt on everybody in Washington, or she would be like under indictment already.
Yeah, but she's not. See, she's not under indictment. People are complaining. Republicans, oh, Hillary. Hey, she's at home cashing all her checks.
She's doing that.
Donna Brazile did a two-way dance. She moonwalked like Michael Jackson, which is what some Democrats do.
Yeah. Hillary has a message for you.
Back up, you creep. Get away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to the audio version of her book, or did you actually read it?
I started on 2 pages before I came here today. I was on 2. Matter of fact, I was sitting out in my car trying to read the rest of them. I was waiting.
Were you having trouble sleeping, or what made you buy that book exactly?
Well, I'm a Hillary Clinton supporter.
I know.
You know,
I'm just kidding you.
I love the Clintons.
But I think you should get the
politicians.
I think you should get the audio version of it, because we're going to recommend that they send it down to Guantanamo Bay to use to torture people.
I kept my cool, aided by a lifetime of dealing with difficult men trying to throw me off. I did, however, grip the microphone extra hard.
That's just painful to listen to.
That was from the upsurge when Trump, when they were in the debates, right?
Oh, she was talking about her debate in the round here in Washington University.
Oh, when Trump followed her around.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So let's talk about that for a minute. You were a Hillary fan. Did you like Bernie Sanders at all?
Yeah, the reason why what Donna Brazile said may be somewhat true. The reason why Bernie Sanders lost wasn't because of Hillary that way. The reason why Bernie Sanders lost is because he couldn't debate. That's why he lost. Not because of the things that Hillary did. He just couldn't debate.
Hillary,
and he has a weird base that follows him. It's a strange group of people.
Well, they're the liberal progressive branch of the Democratic Party, right?
I call them wrestling fans.
Well, they're the liberal progressive branch of the Democratic Party, and I think he lost because the primary was rigged.
Well,
because at the end he kept winning and winning and winning, but he could never overcome her delegate lead because she had all those super delegates that had committed to her before the race ever started.
That's what
because she was running. She was running the Democratic Party.
That's right.
She had all the cards lined up for herself before the first debate ever took place.
Do you follow President Obama for some of that?
I don't
Probably
know.
Not. Well,
I don't know. I don't know what
asking you questions.
I don't know what Obama had to do with it, but I mean, I'm sure he's friends with Brazil and all those guys at
but
the
didn't
DNC.
people know this though? People knew this at first anyway about what happened with Hillary.
They suspected it. That there was something funny going on over there. Do you remember when Bernie Sanders kept trying to schedule debates and he couldn't get the DNC to agree to debates? Now we know why. Because they were having to call Hillary's headquarters and ask permission to schedule the debates. And the Clinton people didn't want anything to do with it.
But after a while, they did schedule a bunch of debates.
They scheduled several debates with him.
You guys got to leave Hillary alone. She's a citizen at home.
No, she's not.
And I got to deal with this guy we got there now.
She's still running.
I got to deal with Mr. Orange Hair. I got to deal with him now.
Okay, yeah. You're gonna get on this Russia kick. You know, he may meet with Putin while he's over there.
Well, but you know he will. I meet with my buddy too if I'm somewhere out of town.
He's your buddy.
Yeah, I meet with my buddy too.
You don't buy into this whole Russia collusion thing, do you? Really? There's been no evidence of it.
Well,
there's still no evidence of it.
Well, let's wait and see what the hearing, what Mueller, what comes up with. We're not done yet. Remember, these guys that support Trump and his cabinet are like frogs on a hot plate. They're all gonna be jumping around pretty soon.
You know, collusion is not illegal.
No, not at all. Except in sports.
So what Jeffrey Toobin on CNN said today, what he pointed out, he's an attorney. He's no fan of Donald Trump, but he said there's probably more evidence of interaction between the Clinton campaign and Russians, if you consider this Fusion GPS Trump dossier, than there really is with the Trump people. But in neither case does he see where the law was broken.
Well, probably not. What's going to happen is President Trump is going to walk away okay, unscathed. Now, some of his close members, the Flynn's and people like that, may not be. But what's his private bodyguard? Now, he knows probably a lot, but he's not going to flip over and talk.
Who, Trump's private bodyguard?
Yeah,
I don't even think I know who that is.
Yeah, the bald-headed guy that worked for the New York Police Department.
Okay.
That pushed the guy down. Now, that's the guy they're getting ready to question next. I'll watch all that.
It'll be interesting to watch. You wanted to talk a little bit about Jerry Jones.
Yes.
I had to go back and read this story to remind myself what happened with it. But, Jerry Jones he's been sort of hardcore on the whole kneeling thing, number one. Now he's threatening to sue the NFL. Is that correct?
Yes, he has. What has happened is Roger Goodell has contracts up for renewal, and several of the owners have said, okay, we're going to go ahead and renew. So Jerry has got together 4 or 5 of the owners. Now, you got to have 13 to vote against this. But let me lead up to that. A couple weeks ago, the owner of Papa John's came out and said, hey, we're losing business because of these pro crafts, which is the biggest crock I've ever heard in my life. So then I did a little more investigating. So the NFL did investigate, and I talked to several top agents. This is all employed by Jerry Jones. You know why? He owns 120 of them.
Oh, of the pizza joints?
Yes. Yes, he owns over 120, and most of them are all in Texas.
I don't know if I agree that it's affected the pizza business, but you've got to admit the ratings have been affected by this, and attendance has been affected by it. I've seen the pictures from the games. You can watch, and you see the stadiums aren't as full as they used to be.
It's going to be a record number, and the NFL makes their money from cable and things like that.
Right.
Endorsements. Let me tell you what. And I'm going to say this, whomever's listening, there's not a black man in America can stop people from making millions of dollars. No. And the protests are, and they came out, we go over it again. Sergeant Bauer said he went to Colin Kaepernick, said, Colin, please don't sit. That's disrespectful. He told him, go ahead and kneel. The players are not protesting the flag in the country. They're protesting police violence against minorities. That's what the protest is all about. Now, remember, several weeks ago, before President Trump came out, you had only 14 players kneeling. But when he came out with the SOB statement, that's what brought about it again. What that means is like another divide. It's like parting the Red Sea is what he did.
So he stirred them up, and that's why they started. Okay, that's fine. But Colin Kaepernick is the one that said it was about the flag. He said he didn't want to stand up and honor a flag that represented a country that supported racism. What is that? What happened? I'm sorry.
See there,
something pops. Colin was listening. It popped up on my computer. I apologize.
I'd call him a true
Hate
American.
it when that happened.
He's a hero in the eyes of a lot of people. He's in the Ali. He's almost in the Muhammad Ali class. Not quite.
Colin Kaepernick?
Absolutely.
You know what he's got in? You know what he's got in common with Hillary Clinton? They're both picking up extra shifts at McDonald's because they're neither one employed right now.
Now Colin is helping people. Now there was going to be a meeting with Roger Goodell, the NFL. They had set up a meeting. But Colin can't meet unless there's a mediator involved because Colin now has a collusion
lawsuit
against them. So what they're going to do is they're going to pull the cell phone of Jerry Jones, Roger Goodell. This thing is getting ready to escalate. Now, as far as the attendance at NFL games or listenership, viewership, TV ratings have overall across the board have been going down for years, and especially in the past 5 years. People are just doing other things, and as far as the NFL is concerned, you got the red zone, you got Netflix, you got several variables that takes the ratings down, so it's not just the protest. So if you're protesting the NFL, but just don't watch it.
Yeah, but if you look, I'm just saying, if you look at year over year from the past 2 seasons, the numbers have dipped more dramatically than they did if you look at it over a 5-year
But it's not all the protests. It's a lot of other variables.
I just think people in this country, and Donald Trump represents this to some extent, are a little sick of the politically correct attitude you have to have about everything. And they're offended that people are standing up and disrespecting a song, whether you agree with every word in it or not. I heard that debate the other day that represents our nation and the founding of it and what we did to found it. And is it perfect? No, but by God, that's the national anthem.
Well,
Stand up.
The NAACP came out today. I guess you heard about the Star Spangled Banner. They wanted stop being
somewhere
sung.
in California. Wasn't that somewhere in California?
Right, because of the word slave is in the third stanza of that song.
I heard the debate on Tucker last night.
They want to take that out.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I want you to do this for me. I want you to go listen to the University of Missouri's fight song that they had up until about 10 years ago. I'm going to send you a copy of it. If you saw the original copy of the Missouri fight song, it's in Harry S. Truman's library. The original fight song words was so racial, was unbelievable. Sitting in my little black mammy's lap and things talking about that slavery. So they changed the words to that. I'm going to send you the original, and you can go on the Harry S. Truman library. So words do mean a lot to different people.
I will give you that, but when you and I stand up at a sporting event, when we stand up we used to have the Rams here, or the baseball game, whatever, and they sing the national anthem, they never get past the first stanza. They sing the song and then it ends. Well, there are people, I'll guarantee you, listen to the sound of my voice, that weren't even aware there were other words in that song.
Well,
that's kind of stretching the argument as to why that song shouldn't be sung anymore.
Well, they've got a new leader. I don't know if they got a new national leader, but this came out of the Los Angeles chapter. First of all, people that are complaining about the national anthem, if you go to a sporting event, what are people doing when the thing is sung? They're out at the concession stands. They're walking around.
Well, in some cases, but if I'm at the concession stand, I'm turning to the TV and putting my hand over my heart.
Okay. All right.
Don't you? I mean, if you're out getting a hot dog or a beer, you pause, you wait till it's done, then you finish what you're doing.
I'm in the media. Stuff's free. It's free. I'm sorry.
Charlie, always a pleasure to get you in here.
I hope you have me back.
But thanks. Tell folks about your show.
I'm on 590, 8 to 10, Monday through Thursday nights from 11 to 12 with Frank Cusimano every Friday. And sometimes I'm here with you and Dave Glover.
We appreciate it. All right, Charlie, thank you. 314-969-9797, 866-455-9797. Now, we'll get to more of your phone calls right after this.
You're listening to The Marc Cox Show.